Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with my first video of the year, and of course I'm talking about my goals and theme for 2018. Before I dive in, I want to make sure you know about my last video where I review 2017, my goals, and how far I came. I go over all of my goals in that video and exactly how far I came in the last year. Lots of ups and downs for sure. If you want to find out more, make sure you check it out. One thing that I did kind of fail to mention in that video was how things went financially, especially since I talked about specific numbers and sales and everything in last year's 2016 in review blog post. I think this time I just forgot, but really another reason was that I think there wasn't a lot of change, and when I went in to look at those numbers, I definitely saw that was the case. Like I said in my last video, 2017 was a tough year, so I wasn't surprised that those numbers actually decreased a little bit. So I actually made a little bit less in 2017 than I did in 2016. But this past year came with lots of burnout, recovering from that, learning to take better care of myself and create those self-care habits, and really just trying to survive as my youngest went from that age where she kind of just lays there and sleeps all day to, you know, where she's moving around and she needed lots of attention, and where sometimes both of my kids needed me just all day because they kept getting sick or, you know, life happened, that sort of thing. So it was just kind of a tough year, just overall, like from a writing standpoint and a business standpoint, also from like a personal standpoint, and just like learning how to handle it all. So as far as how much money I made from my fiction and for my business overall, like I said, it actually ended up being about $1,500 less than in 2016. This wasn't a surprise because I think the biggest reason that this happened was that I didn't do nearly as much marketing as I usually did, especially in the year before, where I did like a regular free promo for my first in series and using newsletter services to promote those free runs. And those were really effective for me when I was doing them regularly. And then I went well over a year without doing any of that. All the attention that my kids needed, burnout, went stagnant a little bit in 2017 as I focused on my health and stuff that I went into my last video. So overall, I made $6,800 approximately from my business in 2017. This includes everything, so fiction and editing, because I also do some freelance editing, proofreading and copy editing, that sort of thing for other authors. That's to help bring in some extra income as I become a full-time author, and also to help fund some of my business expenses and, you know, help fund covers and my own editing. Just over $5,000 of that $6,800 was from my own fiction. So the vast majority of that money came from my own book sales, and that includes ebook, audio, and print. All of my books are in ebook and in print, and I have 3 books in audio. Then I also spent quite a bit of money on business expenses, which monthly aren't that much, but I also bought like a big course and like a few other things like that. The ticket for the Smarter Artist Summit, and then I went ahead and paid for the accommodations and my flight. So it's not cheap, but you know, it's worth it for me, and I did lots of editing to cover those expenses. So yeah, overall, financially, definitely not where I'd like to be. I feel like I did a little bit better in 2016 and I had less expenses, but as you'll hear shortly, I think 2018 is gearing up to be a much better year, much better year. And I'm super excited for it. So let me tell you why. So first I want to tell you like about my 2018 theme, or kind of more of like my mindset and the mantras that I'm going into 2018 with. So I kept thinking about this because for the past couple of years I've gone into the new year with a word or a phrase to kind of keep me on track the whole year and to kind of be my focus for what I want and like my big why and how I'm going to get there. Last year it was purpose and kind of learning to do everything with a purpose, and you know, not just busy work or wasting time, but really like working on the things to move my business forward so that I could also have purpose in my personal life and spend lots of time with my kids and my family, and you know, just take time off. That didn't go perfectly, and so I was thinking about it again this year, and I just couldn't come up with quite the right phrase or sentence or word for this year. I thought of a couple of things, But like I said, they're not quite right. So here's what I came up with. One that came to mind was work hard, play hard. But again, that didn't quite feel like what I was really going for. I definitely want to work hard. And by play hard, I feel like it's more like rest hard maybe. I don't know. I really want to go hardcore when I'm working and when I'm writing and when I'm working on my business and writer mom stuff. Like when it's time to work, I really just want to work and be 100% focused. But then I also want to like 100% rest and spend time with family and take time off as needed and not be just work all the time. So that one fits okay. Another phrase I thought of was consistent progress, and this is one I've thought of in the past, and then when I heard J.A. Huss talk about it in one of her video tutorials, like I knew I was spot on. And I think this might be a better fit, even though again it doesn't feel like 100% right for what I'm really going for in 2018, because it kind of leaves some stuff out. But I do think it's going to be key for me in 2018 to focus on consistent progress. Because if J.A. Huss, who's like rocking it as an indie author, she has to be right. And she said the most important thing is not anything else. It's just being consistent, releasing consistently, writing consistently, new words consistently, marketing consistently. Like just being consistent is the most important thing you can do to become a full-time author. So I guess that's also kind of, where I want to go in 2018. But overall, even if I don't have like a specific word or phrase or theme for 2018, I am focusing on those things, work hard, play hard, consistent progress. But overall, this is what I want. I want to form really great habits to get me where I want. I want to focus on self-care first and foremost. I learned that the hard way in 2017. I just have to put my self-care first or everything else quickly falls apart, especially when you're a mom. And I want to reach my amazing goals that I'm setting for myself while not burning out or having to sacrifice family time or time off or time for vacation or just like time off every day to just recharge. I also found out that my morning routine is crucial, and I did it consistently for 2 or 3 months straight, and it felt great. As hard as it was at first to get up at 6 a.m. and go to bed early and give up my night owl ways, it just made such a huge difference in my productivity and how I felt. Because when you get your words done by 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., like I'm literally just dancing around the kitchen floor making breakfast, because it's like this thing that makes me happy. Like I did it, and I'm not like just stressing out the whole day about it because I haven't done it and I'm trying to find time for it and I can't because like my kid needs me and she won't stop crying and I can't sit down to do it. And so just getting it done while they're still asleep is just amazing. And being able to read and greet the day, just look outside and see the sun rising, and just have alone time to just focus on me and start the day on my terms. That's way better than getting to stay up and, be all groggy and grumpy because I'm starting the day off in a rush. Another thing, enough sleep, that kind of goes along with the morning routine, because if I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm not going to wake up to do the routine. Getting enough water, right when I wake up, and all day. Working out, this is a hard one because it's something that I did so good for like a couple of years straight, just like never missing a day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, just working out hard and sweating and moving. And I kind of let that go this year, which kind of sucks. So, getting back into that in 2018, and I already did this morning. I was working out at 7 a.m. and it felt great. So again, like I said, reading, making time for reading in my morning throughout the day before I go to bed, because I love it and it's another thing that helps me recharge. Just having time to recharge and rest on a daily basis, on the weekends, taking a day off every month or during the holidays. Like I just want to be able to do that guilt-free, and know that I'm not going to stress out because I'm behind on everything else. So yeah, I just need to make room for all of these things in 2018. It's what I'm going to make room for, and I need to make it happen if I want to reach all of my crazy goals that I'm setting for myself. So this is what I'm working for in 2018. These are like the habits and goals that I'm going to be working on overall, especially the whole consistent progress thing, as you're going to see in a minute. But I just want to say that I'm in such a better place now as far as self-care, even though I've kind of slidden back into, you know, some old habits with the holidays. But even so, like, I'm getting back into those habits now, and I'm really glad, and I know it's what I need to get back on track and stay on track in 2018 and make it way better than 2017. And another reason that I think 2018 is going to be great and that I'm so excited for it is that my youngest is about 18 months now, and she's been weaned for several months now. She's doing great. She's at that age where she can start to play on her own sometimes, or with her big sister, and I can write or work on something while they play and have fun, or I can go drop her off while my oldest is at school 2 or 3 times a week and just get some me time and some work time in. And so I'm really excited about that, you guys. That's something that I didn't have in 2017 and before that, and it took away a lot of time and energy, and so it'll be good to get some of that back. And just like I said, be able to work hard and then go pick her up and be able to rest hard and play hard with her. So yeah, just overall, that's how I'm going into 2018. Those are the mindset and the habits that I am going to incorporate. And now let me kind of share some more specific goals that I'm reaching for this year. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm no longer planning out my whole year or doing yearly goals like I've done the past few years. This is a big change because I found out that it doesn't really work for me, especially in the stage of life that I am at now, where my kids just take up such a huge chunk of my life and time and energy, and things can change from one minute to the next. And I have found out that the hard way, especially this year. Yeah, I don't want that to happen again, because then it throws off your whole year and you just wasted a lot of time planning out your whole year, when really you should just be planning by quarter, because that's 3 months at a time. You can accomplish 1 or 2 big goals in that amount of time, plus a few other smaller goals, and then see how you did and pivot as needed for the next quarter, you know, switch some things around as needed. And it's just a much more flexible way to plan and to get things done and to reach for my goals. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to go over some overall, just kind of more general goals for the year, and then I'm going to share my goals for the first quarter. And then I will check back in with you at the end of the first quarter, let you know how I did, and then share some quarter 2 goals with you. So let's go ahead and dive into some of my overall general yearly goals. So overall for the year, as far as revenue or income, I'd like to make $24,000. 2017, I made, you know, just under $7,000. A year before that, I made about $8,000 or $9,000. So I'd definitely like to take things up to the next level and make, you know, $24,000. It's not going to be easy, but with my focus on consistency, I think I can do it. And it probably won't be like steady month over month, but something that I'm going to be building towards the end of the year as I publish more books. So the main way I'm going to do that is I am going to be a lot more consistent with how I release books and how often I publish books. So in the past few years since I became an indie author, I've been publishing 2 books a year, every single year, and not every 6 months either. It varies. Sometimes it's 2 books, like one right after another, and sometimes they're like 9 months apart. And so starting in 2018, I'm going to be releasing a new book every 3 months. I think this is going to be a game changer for me, and I think this is what is going to take my indie author business up a couple levels. So I'm really excited. And like I said, with the 18-month-old now being at that age that I can go drop her off, I think this is going to be doable for me for the first time ever. And also with my self-care. Another big thing that I'm aiming to do the entire year is to be up at 6 a.m. every single day. Yes, even on the weekends and holidays, and to be in bed by 10 p.m. so that I can be up. And this is going to be key for me releasing a book every 3 months, because I am going to be getting those words in early and then still having time to do a few other things throughout the day. And then so I can stop working by 9 p.m. and get about 45 minutes to an hour of just relaxation and literally just nothing else. No mom stuff, no personal stuff, no work, just like me reading, watching TV, doing anything that I want. And then hitting the hay at 10. So yeah, incorporating my morning routine, keeping that up, making that a habit, along with a new evening routine that I'm also excited about to help me get into bed by 10 p.m. So stopping work at a certain hour, getting the kids into bed by a certain hour, having a time where I'm doing like just household things, cooking and laundry and chores and stuff like that. So having a block in my day for that has really been working for me, and then having a small chunk of work time after that. I also want to keep making lots of time for reading because I love reading and it just makes me happy. I do also love TV and movies, but I have so many more books that I want to read and that I'm excited about, and so I really want to keep making a dent in my very huge TBR. So in 2017, I set a goal of reading 50 books, which I thought was crazy, and I ended up reading 57, and I still can't believe that. In 2018, I have set a goal of reading 60 books. Again, a little scary, but I think I can do it. That's one more thing that helps me become a better storyteller. So overall, for 2018, I want lots of time to spend with my family, to rest, to write, to work on these writer mom videos, just really do the things that make me happy and still have time to rest and recharge and not feel like I'm working all the time, because I have definitely done that in the past and I don't like it. I don't like spending so much time away from my kids and they're like wanting to spend time with me or trying to tell me something or just want to be held, and I can't even focus on them. And so definitely just focusing on them and myself in 2018 along with the work that I love. One other yearly goal is sharing these videos every week on my Writer Mom YouTube channel. I'd love to hit 1,000 email subscribers as well as YouTube subscribers. Another fun project, more of a passion project that I'd love to work on in 2018 is a children's book, at least, one or two, just like picture books really. I'd love to work on something like that with my oldest. She's going to be 6. That's something that I really wanted to do in 2017, and I had to keep pushing it back, and I hated that. So yeah, over the summer when she's off from school, I'd love to work on her on some children's books and then see if I can do anything else from that, and just another way to diversify my income as an author and just spend time like doing something that I love, because growing up, especially as a teenager, I did love to draw and things like that. So along with storytelling, I think picture books could work for me, and I think it's just like another fun creative outlet for me. So yeah, that's another thing that I'd love to do in 2018. I also wanted to share some things that I'm giving up this year, because so many of us just focus on what we want to do, but it's so important to also make room for those things that you want to do, right? So here are some of the things that I'm giving up to make room for all of these awesome habits and goals for 2018. So I'm giving up late nights and my night owl ways. I'm giving up just watching mindless, repetitive TV. I can be guilty of just watching like the same shows that I've already watched several times just over and over and just waste a lot of time doing that. So I'm giving that up. I'm giving up mindless social media browsing. Again, a lot of us spend so much time just always browsing Facebook or scrolling through Instagram or Twitter and just consuming so much more than we create, and then we wonder why we don't create as much as we'd like, especially with like the way things are in the world right now. There's like a lot of negativity on social media. It's just so much better for me if I can just spend a few minutes, literally a few minutes every day, just seeing what everyone else is up to and not spending every minute of the day checking my phone. Something else that I'm giving up is busy or meaningless work. Anything that I think is a business task but isn't really moving my business forward in any way, and really it's just one other thing that's sucking time away from my family and from my self-care. Some things that I'm going to be continuing or getting back into are my morning routine at 6 a.m., my evening routine, my accountability groups, which I love, taking time off regularly and just taking a day for me, for the kids, and just doing whatever we want, watching movies all day, going to the library, getting my nails or hair done, that kind of thing. Sweating and working out hard most of the days of the week, and getting back into my family walks. I was doing those regularly over the summer and fall, and then when it got cold, I just didn't want to go outside anymore. So I need to get back into doing that, even if it is cold. We're not going to die out there. It's Georgia, and even just 5 to 10 minutes makes a huge difference in our moods and in our health. So I need to get back to that. And then one final thing that I'm going to keep doing, that's one of the biggest, most important things, is using my planner. So this has been my number one tool and best friend in my indie author business. And so I'm going to keep using this because it makes such a huge difference for me in my productivity and in how much I accomplish every year, every day, every week, you guys. It's just been crucial for me. And when people ask me, how I get so much done when I have so much on my plate as a mom and as an author, and how I edit and how I, do all these things and how I work out, and this is how right here. Okay, so now let me go ahead and share with you my Q1 goals. And these are all written in my planner, along with specific steps and timelines for how I'm going to get there. So I have 2 big goals for Q1. I recommend 1, maybe 2 goals. I'm doing 2 just because I do have like my fiction brand and the Writer Mom brand, and I also have some personal goals thrown in here. So my 2 big goals that I'm going for and will reach in Q1 of 2018. So the first one is I'm going to publish book 1 of my new YA contemporary romance series. The series is written to market, and it's taking everything that I've learned as an indie author along the way. Now that I've written 8 books, mostly out of love, without really regards to the market or how they're gonna sell. Now that I've learned how to tell a story, I am looking to what readers want, and I'm combining that with what I love. And yeah, my goal is to publish the first book in that series by the end of the quarter. And I'm happy to say that I am already 17,000 words into that book. I got my start in December. I planned the book and the entire series out in November during NaNoWriMo, and I am on track for this still. I'm on track for this already to finish drafting by January 23rd, and so that I can have a head start on book 2 by the time this book is out. My other big goal, which is for Writer Mom, is to finish updating the blog and my autoresponder series for Writer Mom. I migrated the site over a couple of times, and there are a lot of posts that could use some updating or deleting even, and also just kind of get out there more in the indie author community and just kind of share my knowledge a little bit more. Okay, so those are my 2 big goals. Some of my smaller goals for the quarter are to post and share my weekly YouTube video here on Writer Mom, to lay out the Writer Mom editorial calendar for the quarter. I've already done this for the next several weeks. This should be relatively easy to do. Get my self-care habits back on track, like I said, the sleeping, the morning routine, the evening routine, the working out, the water. A personal goal that I want to accomplish is to tidy some of my things KonMari style. If you haven't read her book yet, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, it's an amazing book. It's one of my all-time favorites. I read it this year, like exactly a year ago, and then I listened to the audio just last week again, and it's awesome. And I started tidying last year and I never finished. I have been wanting to do this for ages and to really just go through the whole process, so I'm doing that this year. So in Q1 I want to tidy up my clothes, my books, and my paper. So 1 thing a month, taking a weekend every month to tidy up 1 thing. And then another thing that has been kind of in the works behind the scenes is that I want to draft/dictate a book in collaboration with another writer. This is still in the works. Like I said, I can't really tell you anything more about it, but it's something that I'm super excited for and that I hope will again help me level up in 2018. I don't have anything more specific now other than I know that I will be working on it, and so I may come back to that and make it a more specific goal later on. I'm going to file my 2017 taxes because, yeah, that's just something that has to happen, and so I went ahead and wrote that down. And then my last goal for this quarter is to read 15 books because that's what I need to do to keep on track for my 60 book goal for the year. So those are my overall yearly goals and where I'm going in 2018, as well as my specific quarterly goals for the first quarter of the year. Like I said, I'm going to be checking in at the beginning of April with you just to, stay accountable and let you know how everything went, where I need to pivot, what worked, what didn't work, how much I accomplished, and then let you know where I'm headed for the second quarter of 2018. You guys, I am so excited for this year. I think it's going to be an amazing year, so much better than 2017. And with all the habit and mindset work and self-care habits that I learned in 2017, I am absolutely convinced that it will be 10 times more amazing than 2017. And so I'm super excited about that. I'm excited for you. I'm wishing you an amazing 2018 as well. I'd love to hear your goals as well, so make sure you share them in the comments. I read and reply to every single comment. And if you'd like to find out more about my Creative Mom Planner, then you can go check that out at writermom.net/planner. Like I said, this is my most important tool going into 2018, and it's what I'm using to keep on track with all the goals I just told you about. Whether you're an indie author or other kind of online entrepreneur, you're going to find this helpful and you're going to love it as much as I do. So that's it for today. I hope you found this video helpful as you think about and write down some of your goals for the year. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and keep creating your art. Bye.